Hi and welcome. This is a video that I have been really looking forward to making. This is Nynaeve from The Great Hunt. And part of the reason I've been excited to make this one requires the spoiler warning for the video. So, spoilers for book 2 of The Wheel of Time, The Great Hunt. And in the second book, Nynaeve has to be tested before she can be raised to accepted in the Arches of the Ter'angreal. And I'm excited to dive into what she encounters in them. But let's go back to where the book starts. She is kind of having an identity crisis. Most of her adult life, she has been the wisdom of Emond's Field. That has been her identity. That is not just what she is, that is who she is. And now she's not in Emond's Field. She's not acting as the wisdom. She's questioning whether what she has done is actually abandoning them. And she really has to wrestle with her own choices. When she first left home, it was to go bring back Emond's Fielders, the people she cares most deeply about, the people from her home. But then once she left, she didn't go back. She didn't take those young Emond's Fielders home. She stayed out with them. And she really does care about her home and the people in her home. And she is struggling with her decisions she is making. And she kind of has a new reason to hate Moraine now. In the first book, it was mostly because she was taking the young people out of Emond's Field. But now, there is a new person in Nynaeve's heart that Moraine has some control over, and that's Lan. Nynaeve wants Lan, but Moraine has him. And I don't know if I would consider Nynaeve and Lan to be star-crossed lovers. They could be together if they chose. Lan could ask Moraine to be released from her service. They could make it work, but they're both making excuses not to make it work. I think it's because they're afraid. But they both kind of set up a barrier between them. For Nynaeve, it's that Lan would have been a king. His kinghood is the barrier. For Lan, the barrier is the life he leads. He won't give her widow's clothing as a bridal gift. And they both kind of have it in their mind that they are not good enough for the other person. That seems kind of like an excuse, yeah? I think most people who try to say they're not good enough for something or for someone, it's an excuse. He does give her his ring, and he calls her beloved, but he won't have her, and that is so frustrating. And she's having to deal with her relationship with Egwene. Up till now, Nynaeve has been the older, wiser, more experienced one, and at home, Nynaeve has a certain amount of authority over Egwene. But now, out in the world, now that they're both going to the same place for the same purpose, their positions are starting to level out a little more. Egwene's not the young child. She's growing up. She's discovering more about herself. She doesn't want Nynaeve's authority over her. Nynaeve doesn't want to relinquish it. She feels very mothery. When they finally arrive at Tar Valon, Nynaeve kind of gets what she wants. She gets to prove that she is older and wiser than these other girls, and she gets to be almost immediately raised to accepted. But first, she must face her fears. This is one of those weird rituals that the Aes Sedai have that I wonder where it stemmed from, because they don't fully understand what the Ter'angreals do. People get lost in there. People come out crazy. They don't know how real the things that happen in there are, but they feel real. And so when did they decide to just start using this to test new Aes Sedai? I don't know. Seems weird to me. But she goes through the 3 arches and she has to face 3 separate, huge fears. I think this first fear is the most raw and easy to understand one. When she goes through the Ter'angreal, she is naked. And I think for Nynaeve to wake up completely unclothed, absolutely exposed, probably represents her fear of having her weaknesses exposed. She puts on a tough front. She is strong, she is controlled, she's not somebody who lets go of things easily. And then Aginor shows up, this baddie from the stories, from the legends. At the end of the Eye of the World, they have to face a Forsaken, And now, in the second book, one of the fears that she has to face is facing one of those legendary bad guys. It's like a nightmare, the monsters of your dreams. I think this represents just a very primal fear. People, children, are afraid of monsters, are afraid of getting hurt. I think that one is a super easy fear to understand. I don't think it has to be deeply representative of anything. It's okay to just be scared of scary stuff. But I do think there could also be some representation here of having to face this Forsaken. Could be her fear that no matter how much she learns, however much she gains from being here at the tower, she still won't be strong enough. She might not be strong enough to win or protect the people she loves. I think that's a really easy to understand fear. Then she goes through this second arch. The second arch takes her back to a place she loves. She's not afraid of being in Emond's Field. She's not afraid of going home. But besides being the home that she loves, it is a place that she feels her duty to be towards. And she has left that home. And when she gets there in the second arch, she finds it in a state of neglect. Already something that she was afraid of, not of the going home, but of what she might find there when she gets home. And not just what she finds there, but what she finds there that is a direct result of her leaving. Afraid of failure, maybe. She left, she failed them. She finds that Egwene's father is dead and her mother had expected Nynaeve to bring Egwene back, which is why Nynaeve left in the first place. So I think there was definitely some fear of failure going on here. But Emond's Field didn't go without a wisdom. She was already having to face her guilt of leaving, and now she finds that there is a worse wisdom. Not just a wisdom that is worse than herself, but a wisdom who is actively harming the people of Emond's Field. And when it comes time for Nynaeve to go through the arch and go back, it is so hard for her. That place and those people are close to her heart, and she has to give them up. She has to put them out of her hands, relinquish that authority and that feeling of responsibility for them. But she doesn't know who she is in reality passing it on to. She doesn't know what's happening at home. She doesn't really know how her leaving will affect them. And that is something she's having to face right now. Also, maybe the fear that it's not actually her home anymore. When she left, the plan was to go back. It was the plan of all the Emond's Fielders, Rand, Mat, Perrin, Egwene. None of them left with the intention of never going back. Now that she's gone, she will have to face the fact that she has chosen the tower, the life of an Aes Sedai, and she may never go back. And then the third arch. When she gets there, she's not immediately facing a fear. She faces her heart's desire, the things she has dreamed of. Everything she could want is coming true in this third arch. I don't think she's one of those people that getting what she wants would scare her. The arches are supposed to be about facing your fear. I think here, the fear is more along the lines of this thing that I want so badly, this relationship with Lan, the children, Lan getting his kinghood back, all this can only ever be a dream. In this dream, in this, I don't know, alternate reality, the arch, the Terangrial, this is the only place that this can come true and really happen, because it won't ever happen in real life. That seems pretty relatable to real life. Feeling like you have to face the fact that your dream will not come true. And it may be that that third arch is the one where the women most often don't come back from. Right now, in this third arch, she is having to face what could have been, knowing it's not real, and knowing that she has to leave it behind, that she will have to give it up, just like she had to give up going home. What she faced in those arches really hurt. Nynaeve is the person who constantly tries to be strong, and having to see deep into herself and face those fears was not something she probably would have chosen to do, and they forced her to. They forced her to see the things about herself she didn't want to see. And when she comes out, she is more determined than ever to take down Moraine. And now, even though she's been raised to accepted, she still kind of feels the need to prove herself. I am worthy of being accepted. I am no novice. I am above them. Treat me with the respect that I am used to. I was a wisdom, for goodness sakes. Life in the tower is hard. There is a harsh and definitive pecking order, but Nynaeve's never been afraid of hard work. She is from the Two Rivers, after all. And wasn't Leandrin the perfect bait for Nynaeve? She knew just how to get Nynaeve to leave, didn't she? You said you were going to protect those boys. Now let's have you leave the tower to go protect them. She thinks she's going to go off and be heroic and do the thing she left home to do, which was to bring the boys back. But instead, betrayal. But now, Egwene needs to be saved. And if anyone is the right person to save Egwene, it's Nynaeve. Nynaeve cares about Egwene. Nynaeve is capable, and she, with Elaine and Min, were able to execute this rescue plan. She had to do something really distasteful, something that disgusted her, and that was putting on the leash of the Adam. And the whole situation just rankles her. She does not like what she has to do. The only reason she connects herself to that other woman is because she has to save Egwene. And the whole situation makes her angry enough that she can channel as needed. No problems there. But she wants to get Egwene, and she wants to get out before she does something she'll regret, because it would be so easy to use the bond of that leash to really, really hurt one of the women that she really hates now. She sees what they've done to Egwene. She sees just what a horrible thing this connection is, and she would like to see it all end. And they succeed. They save Egwene, but by now we're getting a pretty good idea of who Nynaeve is and how she reacts to things and kind of what her growth pattern could be through the next few books. If you haven't yet, you can check out some of my other Wheel of Time character videos. Please subscribe to this channel for more bookish content like this, and I'll see you next time. Bye!